Hello and welcome to Only Bands. I might have to record this bit separately. Right. Get out if you can laugh after this bit. Because it... Right.
Right, sorry.
Close it.
Hello and welcome to Only Bands, the show where we interview local talent from the Southwest.
20% off for the next 15 fucking songs. Right, Connor, let's do
This is to promote you guys, remember?
Composer.
Okay, yes.
Composer.
Come on.
This is the bloopers take.
Yeah, fucking unbelievable, boys. Come on.
Hello and welcome to Only Bands, the show where we interview local musicians from the Southwest. Today, we are joined by the one and only Fight the Champ. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves, please.
So we're Smithy Boy and the gang. Right, now we are Fight the Champ. We are missing our lead singer at the minute because we ate him.
Where is he?
We were hungry. You know,
You ate it?
we ate him. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Alex. I mean, I know you're dead now, but...
So actually, if you're a vocalist in the Southwest area,
I'm a vocalist. Did you know that?
oh sick, right?
What kind of music is it?
Some
Country folk.
yeah, Polish like polka shit.
I'm into, like, fuse and jazz.
It's got a bit of samba in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, so Alex the singer's dead. Who are the rest of you? No one knows who you guys are, so...
So I'm Kurt. I play bass.
I'm Sam, play drums.
No one cares.
That's Kai. We found him. We found him on the street. He just kind of wandered in.
Yeah.
We don't actually have a guitar.
I'm Clyde,
There's no guitar.
and I play guitar and do backing vocals
That's what he says.
and eat fizzy fish.
I mean,
Oh, you do backing vocals with sweets in your mouth?
Yeah,
All the
that's
time.
how we get the texture. Do you want to hear some?
Yeah. I'm sure that's what the audience want. I mean, it is OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
Composure.
Bit of moan
I
You know what that
I can
sounds
feel that. Yeah, the texture.
Yeah.
it's like no matter what I do.
All I think about is you. Shit, I just picked the mic so hard. I love it. It's all really, really small, and there's just one big bit where I did that.
I just want to apologise to all the
audio quality.
headphone
can't.
users.
Who actually set up the mics, and now it's terrible because of him.
Yeah, it's your fault. Sorry, it's all your fault.
Your rate just doubled.
Brilliant. That's just the album out the window, guys. Solos out. So obviously we're here at Barnyard.
Yeah,
Guys have been here before. You work here. Basically live here, don't you?
pretty much.
You only are-
I mean,
Not to give out your address, but so you've rehearsed here, I believe,
yeah,
a couple of times.
yeah.
We rehearsed it quite a few times.
I think a couple times with an understatement. I pretty much live here at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to alternate between here and Tasma and Exeter.
Big up Tasma.
Tasma's a bit better for getting like photo shoots and more prepping for like the rehearsal before a show, kind of dialing your sounds. And then Barnyard's cheap, it's cheerful. It's still got the great equipment and stuff. You know, it's nice for a tight room rehearsal.
Did you do your demos here?
No, actually.
So the demos, so I track drums via electric kit,
Yeah.
edit them, and then send them over to Kai, who does the guitars and everything. And then we were in here the other week and recorded vocals for the demo. Yeah, it's basically done all over the internet pretty much. So it's sending files to each other and whatnot.
What's that process like? Because it's like the typical way that bands tend to write is you might have like one guy who, you know, writes like the bass melody, and then the rest of the band kind of come in. But it sounds like you guys are all kind of doing it separately.
Yeah, so I feel like we do it sometimes very differently to how I would say the proper way is.
Yeah.
So, for example, then I will write drums, and then the guitars will be put to the drums.
Right.
Like just clean straight up.
Yeah.
Like scratch. And then it's basically goes from there, and it alternates. So sometimes Kai will send me guitar files, and I'll track drums to him, or I will just track/program drums and send them to him, and that's how we kind of do it.
And where does Alex come into that? Is he sort of come in at the end and add?
Well, he doesn't anymore. We ate him.
Oh yeah, I mean when he was in the band.
Yeah.
He tends to have a couple of processes. So either he'll write lyrics to something and then want us to put something to it, or he'll write once kind of the song's been demoed out and we've planned it, or Alex is a guitarist himself. Sometimes he'll write little bits and then I'll take influence from those and then we'll develop it into either a song or a riff for a song.
Right. Cool. And how did you guys all meet? I know obviously Kai and Kurt know each other.
Big up Kidnapping Juno.
Big up. Yeah.
You want to go through our
the people need to know.
We'll go through how we met Sam.
We can do that.
How we met
I'll say how I actually got into this band.
Yeah, okay.
So you guys have spoken about.
It's sucked a lot of dick.
Me and Kai met. I believe we first met at Barnyard a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the old inflatable pineapple tree.
And we basically had a
How romantic.
Yeah, we basically had like a full-on, just like
Candlelit dinner.
like Anakin and Obi-Wan, who like Star Wars lightsabers, but with like inflatable palm trees. And then ever since then,
Love that sight.
good mates. Like my boy right here, he's my homeboy, my big cheese, my good time boy. Okay.
It's not mutual. I hate this person. I just said the C word then. That was really close.
And about a year later, I was playing in Reese Hurd's band. Shout out
Reese.
And
It's right, my guitarist, Ryan.
yeah. Oh yeah, I played in that band with Ryan.
Yeah, that band. Yeah.
I think Kai caught us at a show or saw a video and was like, "Oh, do you want to join my band, Kidnapping Juno?" And I was like, "All right."
That is absolutely not how it happened. I never saw Reese Hurd.
Well, I mean,
Do you want to know why I asked you?
well,
Because you were the only current bass player like and I was like,
All comes
you know
out.
what? This guy looks edgy and he's got tattoos and he plays bass.
He looks
Let's
edgy.
just have him. Yeah.
For a band.
Yeah. Well, I think Shelby saw us. At least she said some of them. Like,
Yeah, well, you kind of met Shelby through me, didn't you?
yeah.
We parted ways with our bass player, so
So they got a better one.
Clearly. Because he was edgy and had tattoos.
he was edgy and had tattoos.
But, yeah, and then I played in Kidnapping Juno for about 6 months. Then we broke up.
It wasn't even 6
did-
months.
Did one gig in 6.
Yeah, but I played one gig. Yeah, before it all,
It was a slapping gig until the last
until the last like.
half an hour when there was about 5 people.
Yeah.
That's a crowd.
The only one there that was doing any sort of like movement was my mum, right at the front of the stage.
Big up
She was
Kurt's
doing some
mum.
movement, right?
Big up.
She was big up my mums. Yeah, like
They got Mumsy in that.
big up.
They're watching this. That's our main demographic is mums.
To be fair, having played in the Emporiums, by the way, I used to play in this band.
Yeah.
And most of the gigs we played, you have got quite a varied clientele.
Yeah. It's because we're varied people, you know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Ryan brings the kids because he's a teacher. Cameron brings, you know,
Quite
the
people.
intellectuals,
The intellectual. Yeah,
and I bring the middle-aged women. Apparently,
You do have that sort of vibe about you.
yeah.
I don't think you need to worry about this being an hour long with him talking.
No,
fucking hell.
no. We might have to cut this.
Telling the story.
We're supposed to be on how we met and got into Fight the Champ, and you haven't even.
We haven't even.
Homicidal.
I don't even know.
Oh, right, so after Kidnapping Juno broke up, the Kai had this solo project called Homicidal, and it was like,
Brilliant name.
yeah, because he's so obviously homicidal. Yeah, and
We'll cut that.
he was like,
Just cut it out. Just cut it out. Just cut it out.
he was like, yo, we're gonna make this an actual band. So I came on for bass for that, and then we did Homicidal for ages, and then
You did homicide for ages.
we just homicide all over the gaff, and then Fight the Champ happened, which
Yeah, well, Yeah, well,
Mike,
forgot Mike was on my leg then.
Yeah, you might want the mic up to your face, mate.
So, basically, I met Alex because I saw him in the pit, and I thought,
was he on an inflatable tree as well?
He was not. He was smashing into loads of people, and I was like, that guy's a dick.
He's
and then
a
he came
scary
up to
fucking
me,
man in the pit.
and then he came up to me. He came to Kurt saying, "I want this band," and then Kurt was like, "Oh, I know a guitarist." Then he came up to me, and I was like, "You know what? You got the right energy for a hardcore band. Like, I'm so up for that." And yeah, and then, well, from what I know, we were struggling to find a drummer, and then Alex said that he met you at a Cavern gig. And you were like, yeah, I'm a drummer.
I think from what I can slightly remember, I think it was an Earthcaller Envisions show at Cavern, possibly, or a show at Cavern. I can't remember which one it was.
So I was meant to go to that.
Yeah, and I've seen Alex a few times at some of the shows I've been to in Cavern and SWX in Bristol. Absolute nutter in the pit. Like, I've seen him with his nose like pissing out with blood. Yeah, it's wild. And then I got talking to him, and he was just saying how he was in a band and they were looking for a drummer, and I was like, oh, I play drums, you know, I'm not in a band anymore, and here I am now, pretty much. So
just to clarify, I don't actually think you're a dick, Alex. I love you. Didn't want to.
I thought Alex was dead.
Just to clarify,
I do love
think you're a dick, Alex.
But he's rest in peace now.
Yeah, no, he's dead now. I used to think you were a dick, then we ate you. And I was like, you know what? He tastes quite good.
So how long have you been playing drums, Sam?
So I've been playing drums on and off like 20 years.
Yeah.
Self-taught, never had lessons. Yeah, pretty much. Played in like several bands, not just the heavier side, more like stoner rock or whatever it was. And then actually, because obviously heavy metal is my main go-to. So I've been wanting to have a heavier band for ages, but I've never found the right fit. It's always been stuff that I'm not 100% wanting to play, because it's not, stuff that I listen to on a day-to-day basis. And obviously this band happened, and I happened to come across Alex, and then now we're making music. And
yeah, I mean, that is so important that you all kind of gel over the same sort of styles, and there's not like differences, but you can all sort of add your own thing to it as well. On that note, what are you guys all into, sort of music wise, and what sort of bands are we talking?
I mean, I'm into everything from Kylie Rae Jepsen to Cannibal.
I've heard your playlist.
It's interesting. I mean, I mean, metal and hardcore has always been a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always, most of the music I listen to is like at least a little bit alternative. I go like, I love pop punk.
Yeah.
That might be the least metal thing I could have possibly said there. So I love pop punk.
Green Day.
Yeah. A bit of Neck Deep, why not? And I've just always loved metal and hardcore since, I mean, my dad introduced it to me when I was really little. So it's always been my thing. And then I found myself here with a bunch of other people like metal and hardcore, which is
good. Yeah.
It's A-OK.
A-OK.
So a kind of section that I wanted to put in this podcast was to ask everyone, what was the last album each of you listened to sort of front to back?
Ooh. So I'm gonna come in quick here, and I listen quite regularly to a band called Waste from the US.
Yeah.
So I listened to a band called Waste from the US, and the album was called Pray for Nothing, and that's like heavy as shit, like breakdowns, real slow, like making you want to swing kick someone sort of stuff. So I could probably listen to that on a day-to-day basis and not get bored of it.
The whole album,
the whole album. The whole album's so good. Like, they got a song about police brutality and stuff, and
that's always fun.
It's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick album, to be fair. So that's the album that I could listen to back and forth pretty much. Definitely.
Kurt or Kai?
think the last album that I listened to was Kuba Khan's most recent album,
Great album.
Exhibition of Prowess. Yeah, it's a really good album. See, I've always been up and down about Kuba Khan because their older stuff all sounds the same, and it was like, cool, you've found a thing that really, really works, but like add a bit of something into it. But then I kind of found that there was something good about that, of when they do change it up, those songs really speak out, and you're more into them because it's something different. Same with Not Loose. Not Loose is exactly the same. I absolutely love them, and for a little while they did sound the same basically the whole way through, and then they really branched out, especially with their newest album. And I would say that's mostly my influence for this band as well.
So Kurt, what's the last album you've listened to all the way through?
Well, it's actually that's a pretty good segue from Kai's, because the last album I listened to in full was Laugh Tracks by Knock Loose, back in 20.
Is it literally just an album full of laugh tracks?
Yeah, no, it's just Brian Garrett's just laughing his head off.
Right.
It's great album, to be fair.
It's it's their first full length. It was a very influential album to me. I listened to it a lot when it first came out. I was 17 at the time, and
Still listening to it.
still listen to it now. Yeah, like Billy No Mates, Dead Ringer, Counting Worms,
Yeah, knowable.
Oblivion's Peak.
Love those songs.
Yeah,
So good, and it's also where the Arf thing came from.
Arf. Oh yeah, I know Arf. Yeah.
Love a good Arf.
See, I do know this genre. I'm not just an indie boy.
Oasis on repeat all day, every day. Yeah. No,
I'm Smiths.
Laugh Tracks, Not Loose. That's the last album I listened to in full.
And before you met Alex, what do you think? What do you think he would have listened to? Or maybe while you were eating it, what was it? Creed.
Oh mate, I am a absolute slag for fucking Creed, man.
He can take me higher whenever.
Yeah, with arms wide open.
Yeah.
Alex is kind of into the older
Older
era
lady.
of hardcore.
Terror.
Terror,
Yeah, man.
Madball, all that sort of stuff. So he takes a lot of influence from the older stuff, which we've embedded a lot into our music as well. A lot of it is very modern to keep up with the times, but it does definitely hint towards older, more relict versions of hardcore.
So do you think that adds an interesting dynamic to your band if he's bringing more of, like, you say, classic sort of hardcore vibes, and you guys are more into like what's contemporary and now? Do you think that creates something a bit different?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say, in a nutshell, our music is modern, instrumental, and vocally very 90s.
Right. There's definitely a lot of new metal thrown in there.
Yeah, a lot of new metal stuff. I mean, we all take influence from like the big bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit and all that sort of stuff, because they paved the way for the bands that we listen to now.
I still won't dress up like Wes Borland. I don't know what's up.
It's because he's scary, and I'll look in the mirror and I'll not be able to come to rehearsal because I'll be scared of myself.
Mate, honestly, you just got to embrace the Wes. If you dress up as Wes Borland in the next rehearsal, I will come in like full Fred Durst out.
I mean, you come in as Jeff Hardy.
Can you do that?
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Like, for context, Kai had these massive parachute jeans that looks like
Fucking
Jeff
great.
Hardy from like the
They're
early
so
2000s.
good, honestly.
To see that.
Mate,
Next time we record, can you just sit at the desk and just...
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's safety, okay? Because if I ended up falling off a building,
That's what Jeff Hardy does.
Yeah.
That's his entire
he
thing.
falls off buildings.
Mate, he swanton bombs like, off
Jeff-
like the top of like massive ladders and shit. Like,
Jeff hardly stood up.
mate, he hardly stands up.
Ladies and
He's too busy
gentlemen.
flying through the air, like smashing people through tables and shit.
Sounds like one of your rehearsals, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly how it.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you've ever seen like 90s ECW, that's exactly what our rehearsal does.
Yeah, our music is also sometimes
Moving on.
like it revolves around like some wrestling as well. To be
Yeah.
fair, you know?
Well, that's what I was going to ask about the name. Where's the name come from?
Because we're all massive nerds, we like wrestling.
That's literally it. It's not because you have to to fight the champ. Like the audience has to
Alex
fight
is the
the
champ.
So do you have to?
We'll crown someone in like
Yeah.
pit and they just kick the shit out of them or something.
That's what it is.
So I actually I bought like a little plastic title belt
Yeah.
that we could give to someone in the crowd. And I'm thinking what we could do with it is like at the end of the show, whoever's like the most mental in the pit, we bring him up on stage, give him the belt, and like we'll crown him.
I love
pit
that.
champ.
And then they have to give it back because it's
Because
they can't line up. So it's going to be really awkward.
Really hard to get hold of. Like, can we have that back,
Yeah.
please? I've just given it to you.
Yeah. But at least for about 5 minutes, he is the pit champion.
Right.
And then yeah,
We've had like several ideas about stuff to do, like pit wise. The people that perform the best in the pit, or like we'll do like I don't know, like you can't stand in this little block here. You have to go around it to like create the circle pits and stuff.
I like that.
We've got ideas.
Yeah, I like
kick the
that.
shit out of them.
Yeah.
Bit of audience participation. When I saw Pike last with you guys, they were like, whoever pits the hardest will give a free stall or two or something.
Yeah, they do that at all their shows. I think when we saw them at Burn It Down, they gave a free merch item to whoever was the pit king or whatever.
They gave somebody a hard hat, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They give out loads of high visors as well.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they don't give those out. They sell those. You gotta buy them.
Oh, they are. I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't played a live show yet, but we've already got such high energy in the rehearsals that we know that this is pure. Like a lot of this band is going to be live based.
Yeah.
So like for instance, Not Loose and Kuba Khan are constantly touring because their shows are so high energy and people would like prefer to see them live than listen to them recorded, which I think is the majority for metal fans. You know, they want to go to a show and they want to be in the pit and stuff like that. So making sure that we have those new adaptations to those shows keep people coming in.
On that note, you should come see us on February the 2nd.
I was going to say, have you got any live shows coming up? Which
Yeah, so we got obviously the Cruelty show next year, and then we got Serving Darkness, which is at the Phoenix in Exeter, with headliners Heart of a Coward and some fucking amazing bands playing.
I don't know how we've managed to bullshit our way onto that.
I mean, it's a pretty wild lineup. Can't actually remember the date for it though. Not gonna lie.
It is
25th of March.
25th of March. Yeah,
we'll put it on screen now.
Yeah.
Put the poster.
Tickets
Yeah.
in the description.
Yeah. That means I got to edit now, which is
Oh no.
more work for me.
Dawn doing his job.
But me doing my own.
Gosh darn.
Yeah. So I mean, well, I'm really surprised because obviously, Kurt, you're a massive Swiftie. So when are we going to see some of those influences come
Mate,
through?
The influence is already there, mate. We
They're
might
pretty
as
subtle.
well,
Well, I haven't noticed them yet. But
mate. We might as well just be like Taylor.
where's the
Swift.
acoustic guitar? Well, that would yeah.
There we go.
Fight the Champ unplugged. You can't
Gonna get
play, you can't
copyrighted.
play that. You cannot play that. That is, we're already walking on like thin ice with this podcast. That's not. Moving on.
Very freefall they just
I thought I told you not to
Those are the
talk.
most expensive free
Yeah, Oscar.
play.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is Oscar. Everyone. He's not on screen because he's not allowed to be. but behind the cameras is Bobbins, as we call him.
Good old Bobbins.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Bobby.
So I'm trying to find my. I've got.
Gotta call yourself a professional.
Obviously, this podcast is meant to have another guest on it, my good friend Chris. But I asked him, as he couldn't make it, if he had any questions for you guys, and he has asked: is there something in the Bay or where you guys are from originally that has inspired any of your music?
Castle Street.
Are they from here?
No.
What about palm trees?
Are you on about Castle Circus?
Yeah, sorry,
Castle Circus.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Castle
I
Street.
think that's what you meant.
Crackhead Central.
My absolute dream is to go to Castle Circus and set up for a gig and then just watch the
Before they knock it down,
Mate,
yeah.
they're knocking it down.
Are they?
Yeah, that whole
Well, it's just gonna be a hole in
that
it.
whole
heard of
section
this
of,
place at all.
top end of town, they're turning into houses. So town is just going to be like the middle and bottom now.
You know what?
What?
I know.
didn't know.
Yeah,
about
because
that.
all the shops are gone.
Yeah, I know. The
The
shops
game's
are-
gone. Everything's dying on that end.
To be fair, town's been going to shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So you could
it's
write a
not
song
safe
about
there
that.
anymore.
Yeah.
That could be the answer.
Save our castle service.
No, mate, let it
No,
fucking
Let
go,
it
bro.
burn.
Let
Let it burn.
Christ.
And then he's asked hardcore.
Houses next to Factory Row. That's gonna cause.
Yeah, I know.
nightmares.
No, Factory Row is just gonna be.
It's just
The
it's going to
whole
affect
town.
our album.
Yeah,
It's gonna affect our album, yeah.
honestly.
It's just going to affect us in many ways.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gosh darn.
But yeah, his second question is hardcore. I think he's talking about metal. Has risen in popularity over the last few years, and I don't know if this is true. I'm just taking his word for it. But new metal has seen a revival as well. What do you think the reason for this is, besides social media?
I think it's the fact that everything comes back around. It's just trends. Like new metal being as popular it was in the early 2000s. See you later, Kai.
That's it with Sky. Yeah,
He's had enough. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. New
And there
metal
were two.
being as popular as it was in like the early 2000s. I mean, like most genres of music have a resurgence
Yeah.
eventually. Like you'll see that with like indie, which came back about
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Pop punk came back about 10 years ago. And I think now it's time. Now it's new metal's come back with all the TikTok trends and Corn and Limp Bizkit. You know,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very social media based.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Like, you know, there's bands that have got big from TikTok. I cannot stand TikTok, but like at all. But there's bands that have got big because of that social platform. Same with Instagram. And,
our
you know,
TikTok page, by the
I know.
way.
Yeah, did you say? Oh, I hate TikTok, but can you follow us?
I am not. I'm not plugging it, man. But yeah,
Yeah, actually, unfollow it.
yeah. Every other social platform, like follow us.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck TikTok, man. Probably shouldn't have said
then.
Probably shouldn't have said that, but yeah, no, yeah, like I said, most of the bands nowadays are getting big because of the whole social media thing, and people are putting the trends they're doing with these like
Guess
dance
who's
videos.
the
and
drummer in our
stuff.
band?
What?
Guess who's the drummer in our band?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's that.
Who's the drummer?
Is it Gareth? Martha? Larry? Or Steve?
No, it's Jeff. It's Kyle.
Kyle.
We're back after a short break. I shouldn't have even said that. They wouldn't even know. So yeah, we were talking about TikTok. How do you guys navigate this sort of weird music scene where, you know, back in the day, bands would become popular and be signed after a couple of gigs just through A&R guys going to a gig. Now labels aren't really like leaving the cities. How do you guys navigate trying to become popular through solely social media, where it almost seems like music is an afterthought and content is first?
Navigate it with great difficulty.
Yeah, because it's difficult because you just want to focus on your craft and be known for that, and people are like, oh, well, how many followers have they got?
Yeah, that's one thing I absolutely hate is
Yeah,
you're not big until you've got like 10,000 followers or whatever the threshold is. Like,
Yeah.
I think the best thing for music right now is connections.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's literally that.
Yes,
like,
what you know is who you know.
exactly. Half the bands that are headlining or playing Glastonbury or whatever wouldn't be where they are without the right people.
yeah,
Trying to think of an example, but I don't want to slate anyone.
fucking hell.
But the thing is that sucks about that is that there are so many amazing bands out there who don't have the connection, so they don't go far, and they put so much work into it. But because, like, also, music is no longer a passion that turns into a job; it's a business.
yeah,
You know, if you haven't got all the social medias and you're constantly, you know, checking for messages from venues and stuff like that and emailing people, you're not going to get anywhere. You can't walk into a pub anymore and be like, what slots have you got open for a gig, you know? So it's particularly hard, but we're trying to be really smart about how we release stuff and how we promote stuff to make sure that we're hitting the algorithms correctly.
Yeah.
Because if you hit them correctly, all it takes is one song.
Yeah.
Like for instance, going back to it again, Not Loose. Without them doing, I think it was the Deep in the Willows song that really took them off, wasn't it? And Counted Worms. If they didn't do those songs, they wouldn't be anywhere near the popularity that they are now, because they promoted them correctly. They had something that was different about them. That's what took them into being able to, they've literally been touring America for 8 months non-stop. Like, it's mental.
Yeah, and Counting Worms was being used, if not still is being used, for various like content on, I hate to say it, TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel, that's how bands are getting big, because of that, pretty much.
Yeah, I've seen so many bands that they literally become famous because one song is used on like a load of reels on TikTok.
Even what the RFR thing was.
Yeah,
which is like
just through memes, yeah.
Reaches,
and then it's like some people will be like, oh, well, let's see what band this is, and then they become a fan.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it is kind of organic in that way, but not in the way that it used to be.
Not like the old school way, no.
Yeah, where you'd literally have to buy a record or word of mouth or go to a gig. It's in some ways it is a bit easier to access.
Yeah.
But and then on another, it feels like what you have to do to get there is almost sort of soul destroying in a way, because it is content first, isn't it?
I think people value music less now that you don't have to pay for it, and it isn't a thing that like you have to acquire. It's just something you can access whenever you want now.
Exactly, and no one needs music either. It's not like
all you've got to do is pop on a Spotify playlist now, and you've got everything you ever want. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a CD anymore. Like, and I'm part of the problem. I use Spotify. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, because it is. It's just ease of access, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I think it also doesn't help that streaming services are so popular now that bands aren't getting paid anything for their records.
Yeah, you get less than like a penny for a stream.
You get like, I think it's 0.003 of the penny per stream on Spotify.
What even is
the house party make at the end? Out of curiosity,
didn't even make a penny.
I swear we looked at it and it got like £2.50 or something.
No.
Do you want to know how much we've made?
How much?
Tenner. since we released the first single.
Given
That was the same for Homicidal.
Given how little Spotify pays, a tenner actually is
split between 4 people.
So you've all got £2.50.
Poor George and Cameron only get 12.5% each as well.
Mate, are we just like airing like sort of all the Emporiums sort of coming, like outgoings and incomings?
Yeah, do you want to know? Like, do you want to know what basis we're on now?
We are not. This isn't our interview anymore. We're interviewing him. So
go for it. What do you want to know?
So how did the Emporiums just come about, man? Like, what? So when did you start thinking?
Kurt, this is our podcast, mate.
Yeah, man.
We're supposed to be
talking about us. Do you want to know?
Meant to be about us, apparently. Yeah. So
the Emporiums, right? So when did you think? Right, I'm going to make the.
This is the Kurt podcast,
right?
But yeah, anyway.
I was ready to tell the story though.
Fuck off.
The lack of funds situation definitely doesn't help bands, because you can't prep for merch or anything like that. Like, even if you're lucky enough to be able to go on a tour, you have to take money out of your own pocket to get the merch, get the transport, the food, the hotel.
And then some venues charge merch tax as well, which is absolutely
brutal.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And since Brexit, I think if you want to tour Europe, you'd have to pay like a deposit or VAT on merch that you would have sold before you sold it.
Yeah.
And then whatever you sell, you get back. But you have to do that for every country in the EU now.
Yeah.
So it's insanely expensive to tour.
It's horrible.
Cheers, Tories. We love you. We love that, man.
Yeah. And also, I don't think there's much of an appeal for bands to want to be signed anymore, because
I've seen there's been a majority of bands that have gone like their own way instead of going with record labels and stuff, and I feel like possibly I think that's the way forward, and that's probably the way we're gonna be going as well, potentially.
Yeah, because back in the day, that would have been the only way you kind of, because they would literally give you a deal to press or put on CDs.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think there's more an appeal to sort of run it as yourself and be more of a businessman, and to actually own your music.
Yes.
You know, I'm doing an album at the moment, and you know, I could have like done demos and sent them to labels and been like, oh, do you want to fund this album? And yeah, it would have been easier to distribute, but I wouldn't have owned the masters, and I think that's a bit nicer to actually have full ownership over my music. And
Apart from the 10% I get.
yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, no, and there's artists doing that, like Taylor Swift. Didn't she completely re-record like her first few albums?
Yeah, so
Now she's like a billionaire.
she had an album, and it was owned by, I think it was Sony.
Some
Sony owned it, and she didn't like that because then she didn't get 100% of what was coming back into it. And because she's such a big artist, she can re-record it and do her thing. But
Taylor's version comes out.
yeah, some we can't do that.
No.
Like
Sharon's version.
Well, we are going to do that, but like being able to
They're gonna be
take the money out of our own pockets is hard.
It is. It is, because it takes longer. You know, you can't just focus all of your time and effort on recording and being a band, because you have to do other things to fund it.
Yeah.
So I honestly think like the age of like the classic rock star where you just play a gig and then you go to a hotel, you get pissed and throw a TV out the window, that's over, because you've got to be like an entrepreneur now. You've got
to be on it 24/7 now.
You have to you have to be into
And
marketing.
especially like because of the advent of social media and like smartphones and that, like no matter what you do, like if someone's got that on camera, like, you know, that's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do you can't just do stuff.
You got to have a rap. Yeah.
You got to like really think about this.
Yeah.
Although it can work in the other way. Like, as much as I absolutely hate him, Machine Gun Kelly,
I knew you were going to mention it.
like,
It's your best mate, isn't it?
he is. I love him. I love him to pieces.
I've actually seen him live twice, and I still don't.
Isn't he going
You're
back
out of
into
the
rap
bank,
now? I think he's doing another rap album.
Is he?
I think so. I think he's killed off
like-
pop punk.
That sort of thing of like poking fun at Slipknot or whatever.
Yeah.
As like as shit as that was, it was a great publicity move.
Yeah.
Like Marilyn Manson as well.
Footwear. It was
Like
footwear on stage, wasn't it? It's like, oh, you're going up there in your comfortable footwear, you know,
you
Doc
old
Martens.
people with
fucking
masks
high-tech.
on.
Yeah.
That's what I say about Ronnie Radke all
Then-
the time. Like he's an arsehole, and he's a terrible person. But like the way he does it, he's keeping himself in everyone's mouth.
The thing is though,
Everyone's still talking about it.
there's two ways to it. There's one way of the drama will die eventually and then he'll become irrelevant again. Like Machine Gun Kelly, like no one ever really talks about him anymore because he's stopped making these accusations of people or whatever. Or there's be a really good guy and then people will keep talking about you. Like obviously Dave Grohl ended up cheating on his wife and whatever, but before that he was constantly
Awkward.
because he was
Jesus Christ.
such a nice guy
Yeah.
and he was like the perfect guy of rock and roll and whatever. Yeah, that's enough said about that's enough said about Bad
That's
Bunny.
enough said about
It's a
Dave
serious
Grohl's
issue,
wife.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
great.
It's like you need to make yourself bad to make yourself popular and have that good guy persona to carry it on.
Yeah.
To be fair, do you reckon that the Foo Fighters as a band has probably benefited from this?
No.
I think so.
I mean,
They've had a pretty bad rap.
and shit, but I reckon their Spotify stream has gone up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Don't know.
It's not ideal for them, is it?
No.
The drummer died. The
yeah.
Well,
singer's sleeping around.
There we go. If you want publicity and take it,
Cheat on your wife.
cheat on your wife. Sorted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone's
If,
gonna be talking about you for months.
then kill your drummer, yeah.
yeah, kill your.
And eat your singer. Eating your singer is the biggest publicity stunt I've ever
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
With the new Mayhem. Look at that.
Oh god, yeah. So is our album coming? It's gonna be like Alex's.
You throwing him up. Like,
Yeah. That's the next album cover.
talking of albums, you say you're going into the studio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all we've got time for.
Yeah, we are. We haven't got a set date yet, but it's gonna happen soon.
Album?
Single first.
Single. Right.
Yeah. I mean, single first, and then work from that, I reckon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna happen relatively soon. To be fair, it's gonna be good.
So what, like next year or something? That's probably gonna come out.
I mean, we were kind of hoping to get it out before the Cruelty gig, but at the same time, we don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
And then it come out sounding not to our full potential.
Yeah.
It comes out sounding like homicidal,
which we don't want.
Anyway, so it's that process of, if we end up recording something and it comes to the Cruelty gig and it's not good enough, then we'll just have to wait until we can make it good enough. Because we don't want to release it and then everyone be like, these guys sound a bit weak.
Yeah, what the fuck?
There's no point.
Sound like?
Yeah, there's no point in going to see them live, because that's what we want.
Yeah.
You know? We want people to be like, oh, these bands sound amazing. I wonder what they sound like live.
So is that what you want to do? You want to capture your live sound in a way?
Yeah,
the energy.
I think,
of the live.
yeah,
But not record it live.
No. Record it how it's meant to be recorded, but
the energy,
to capture that energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So then people be like, oh, you know, if they're this energetic through the record, imagine what they're going to be like live, you know?
Because that happens so often where you see a band live and you know, it's like a supporting band and that's the first time you've heard of them, and then you listen to them and it's like, oh, it sounds completely different.
Yeah. Everything's always heavy.
There's so many bands that I prefer live, just because of that.
I remember
because of that.
Me and Alex saw Sim download this, like, and mate, blown away by the actual songs. But on the drive back, like, we were listening to it and we're like, it sounds nothing like how that did. Like, people are like swinging arms and shit, and then we listen to it now, it sounds like fucking Nickelback.
I think it's just the energy of the crowd just makes the band heavier.
Yeah.
Obviously, I went last year or year before, I can't exactly remember when, but I went to go and see Knock Loose at O2 Islington, and that was a real eye-opener for me, because I've obviously never seen Knock Loose live until then, and I've never witnessed everyone going nuts.
Really?
I've never witnessed that before at a show that I've been to, and just seeing that was like, that's mental, you know? Like the whole crowd were just swinging and jumping and moving, and I was just like, fucking hell, you know?
I remember one time I saw Not Loose at the SOX in Bristol, I think it was 2019, and it got so rammed there, I was going so mental, they actually let people pass the barrier, like, because that's the only way they could fit him in without getting like kicked in the head.
Love No Barrier show.
Yeah.
I'm going to see them at Brixton, O2 Academy Brixton next year, and there's no barriers.
Oh. Go together?
Yeah, well...
Candlelit dinner.
Yeah, well, we won't let you know what's going to happen in the hotel room afterwards.
Yeah, that Premier Inn's going to be messy.
Yeah.
Mate, who says we're Premier Inn, mate? We're going to hostel. There's going to be witnesses.
Are you going to, like...
We're going for a hostel, mate.
Claridge's? So you're spending all of your, like, bad savings on one...
Oh, yeah. Like, no, fuck
5-star.
Fuck the album, man.
And what are your sort of general thoughts on the sort of local music scene? I mean, obviously there's...
Shit.
Okay.
So basically,
I was going to pick up Burn It Down there, which we've been talking about.
Every single person we know right there.
I think the local music scene's good. I would say it's better in Exeter and Plymouth, especially for metal.
Yeah.
I feel
Bristol
like
as well.
Bristol's big for it.
For every job.
I think there's just a real lack of the metal stuff in the Torbay area, and I think that there's room for a breakout band. There really is. Like, I can't think of a single band that has originated from here that has gone really far. You know, like obviously you've got Muse and Timberlake.
Metronomy, they did it right.
Yeah, but they weren't exactly...
Cardiff's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
I thought I mentioned Cardiff.
They weren't exactly like a breakout band, though. I mean, I think the closest that has been so far is Chris Barrett's band. But
yeah, he's done bits.
Yeah, they've done really well. But I don't think that all of them are from the Torbay area. I think a few of them are from out of it. So it's nice to sort of have a Torbay-based area. I mean, apart from Sam, but he's basically a Torbados boy.
He's an immigrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, not originally from around here.
Yeah. Well, me neither, but I've been adopted as well, so it's fine.
So
I think there's definitely
brothers.
props to be had from bands like Grove Warden, Wall Crab as well. Who are the guys that did? Oh, Atom Smasher as well. They're pretty big.
Death Assault.
They just won the Bloodstock.
Yeah, Death Assault is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Assault is sick.
Yeah. Yeah. There's loads of stuff.
Yeah. So is that your sort of aim to sort of create a scene down here rather than going where there already is a scene?
Yeah. Well, I think it might be more of going to those scenes and bringing them down to here. You know, like we're very, very lucky to have Foundry and have
that's the only venue
BYP
that really suits. I mean, that and the Attic, I think.
I'd say Attic.
Yeah, Attic as well. Apple and Para, is, you know, like obviously it functions usually as a pub, but they always have live music in there.
Yeah,
keeping it alive.
The Apple and Para is amazing.
Yeah, like we're really lucky to have that stuff.
They don't have enough heavy music in there.
No, but then they've got Burn It Down Festival, which, you know, is run by Matt from BYP, and that has sort of opened up a massive channel of the alternative crew and stuff like that coming down here. Yeah, you know, and
I think it's safe to say that there simply was not an alternative scene around here for Burn It Down.
No, definitely not. And also like Electric Bay as well.
Yeah,
you know, that's
which is quite varied. I didn't know the sort of varying amount of genres they have there.
They have Pendulum headlines. They're awesome. They're really good.
So good. Like,
I thought it was just like pop. You know, I thought it was like a.
I mean, a lot of it is drum and bassy and stuff like that. But I mean, they're not scared to embed a live band. You know, like when Pendulum headlined, that was the most packed the whole day was. You know,
so
everyone was
for Electric Bay next year. Fight the Champ.
I Burn It Down. I said it. I said it this year. Burn It Down. Like, you guys, you need to get in there.
It would.
That'd be so sick. If they Burn It Down.
I'm not gonna lie. I have been pestering Matt Goodyear about it, and it's led to us getting a gig at the Cavern. So
there you go. So it could lead to it. I honestly think.
If you guys this Matt, book us to Burn It Down.
I honestly think
book us to Burn It Down.
If you guys keep going the way you're going, I think you will be playing it next year, if not the year after.
You hear that, Matt?
That's coming from the king of indie.
The king, he says.
King of indie and Torbay.
Indie king.
Well, it's been great chatting with you guys. I wanted to end the podcast with a section that is kind of a thing I've stolen from another podcast, where we would have had a previous guest ask the current guest a question.
We don't have a previous guest, though, do we?
But because we don't have, I've come up with a question, and that is, obviously, you're all very talented musicians. What other talents do you all have? Start with Kai.
Christ.
Is that the worst one to start with? Does it not have any?
No, I was just like, what are my other talents?
For him, it ain't FIFA. I can tell her right now.
I'm good at FIFA. I kicked his ass so many times. I've recently taken up skateboarding. I think that'll be the next thing down the line. I'm not really good at anything else.
You're pretty good at recording music.
Yeah, but I guess that still falls under the music category, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like an all-rounder when it comes to the music stuff.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. I'd probably say skateboarding. Being really awkward in conversations as well. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, that's what we get on.
Yeah, pretty much. We just have uncomfortable silences with each other.
And Borat impressions.
I think I'm pretty alright at promoting as well when I've really got my mind into it. I think those are my talents.
Master marketeer.
Yeah, indeed.
Talents, you say?
Talents, yeah.
I don't know. Mine's mainly music based. I'm a coded welder. I mean, that's one of my talents, I suppose. I can fix.
Do you weld a kit?
I mean, potentially. Depends.
Do you know what kit's made out of?
I thought it was made of like stainless steel.
Yeah, they do stainless steel kits. Yeah, they do brass kits, but they're stupidly expensive.
Do you want to know why no one uses it?
Why? Because
Because
so
it sounds
expensive.
They sound so tinny.
No.
So much top end on them.
A brass kit sounds amazing. Yes, big ups the fucking Saint Anger snare.
Oh yeah. Ding, ding.
Yeah,
ding.
I love that.
Doing.
I'm gonna incorporate.
Sounds like a
it.
dustbin lid,
I'm gonna
doesn't it?
incorporate it in our set.
I'd love that. Just it just rings out for years. Oh, he's just on the phone on the podcast.
That's
Jesus.
Who's that? Is that Big up.
wild.
We'll keep rolling on that. This is pretty funny.
Fuck's sake.
This is funny.
So like we're on a podcast.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, so it's not like we are currently.
Does anyone else got a phone call they want to take?
Sorry, the cameras are rolling.
He's not even talking to anyone. He's just pretending. There's no one even there. She's actually gone. No, I love that. We've just broken up a relationship, people.
Mate, and it's just a sadness in his voice when she hung up on me.
Yeah,
hello?
that's it.
No. Yeah. So I'm gonna say welding and fixing stuff.
So, Kurt, what are your talents? No one cares. Well, thank you for listening.
He's a
No, go on.
Finding things that are meant to be easy and making them really difficult for myself.
What, like the Emporium's baselines?
Mate, I went to Spain recently, and
Hey, I'm from Spain.
I'm from Spain, and
Hey, I'm Spanish.
getting the train from one town to another in Spain is ridiculously hard. They've got timetable, but they've got no other way of knowing. Like,
Why didn't you just fly to Spain? Why did you get the train?
get fly to Spain. It was going.
Is it because the signs were in Spanish?
Yeah.
Do you know
There
what?
were no
Can I
signs,
tell you
that's
what
the
happened to me
problem.
in Tenerife when I tried to get the bus?
No, right. So what I was on about, and right, go on.
I went to say the name of the place that we wanted to go, and I was like, Fabine Plaza, and he was like, Fabine Plaza. And I was like, yeah, and he was like, stupid English. What? The first C word of the only
I have to
pants.
bleep something now.
We were doing so well.
We're doing so well. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it there, I'm afraid.
I can rap it.
Okay, go on then. Do you want to give us an outro?
Got on the bus from a day saver, smoked the No,
Yeah, let's not do that. Absolutely not.
M to the B.
L dot top of that block.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what my credibility got.
There we go. That was Fight the Champ, everyone. What a great bunch of guys. See you soon.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
coming.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Have you got? Where can the people find you?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, not Spotify yet because we haven't released anything,
What?
but we will do soon. And you can find us on TikTok and all that, and
Only bands.
only bands.
Only
And,
bands.
and come to our gig on the 2nd of February,
That's right.
22nd of February, supporting Cruelty.
No, it is the 2nd of February.
Second.
Yeah.
Come 2nd of February at the Cavern, supporting Cruelty, and the 25th of March at Exeter Phoenix, supporting Heart of a Coward at Serving Dock.
Put on by Dead Hub Promotions.
Davey Wavy
Yeah,
Woodward.
and
Yeah.
Matt from BYP at on the Cavern one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bye.
See ya.